everybody stand by for a few moments. I want to bring in, I want to talk about President Obama's final speech on national security as well. We're going to talk about that. But right now, the chairman of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, the Utah Republican, Representative Jason Chaffetz, is joining us. Mr. Chairman, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, let me ask you, I know you've looked into this. Can the president-elect really take credit right now for this Japanese investment, this Japanese businessman, the CEO, goes over to Trump Tower, Trump brings him down into the lobby, says he's going to invest $50 billion in the United States, billions of dollars in the United States and create 50,000 jobs. What do you think?
I don't know, but between that and Carrier and Ford Motor Company, I mean, as long as this keeps happening every few days, it bodes well for the American worker. So I don't know who to give credit to. Just the reality is it's actually getting done.
Is he getting ahead of himself, though? This Japanese company, SoftBank, as it's called, it owns Sprint, who had an attempted merger with T-Mobile that was blocked by the Obama administration. There's already some discussion out there if this Japanese businessman is simply seeking to curry some favor with the president-elect in hoping that maybe he would greenlight this merger.
I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out. I'm sure everybody would love to have Donald Trump in the room to help close their deals, but you know, it's good for the economy if there are American jobs that are going to be grown here, that are going to stay here in the United States of America. But we'll have to keep watching it.
What's your reaction to his announcement today that he wants to kill the Boeing deal to build new versions of Air Force One? As you know, Boeing is the largest exporter in the United States. Hundreds of thousands of people have their jobs directly or indirectly related to Boeing. There's huge competition with European Airbus right now for sales, especially in countries like China. Is it smart for the president-elect to effectively criticize Boeing at a time like this?
Well, he's asking the right questions because you have a new Air Force One that's so overscheduled. You look at the Marine One that President Obama put a kibosh on because of the cost overruns there. I'm glad that seems to be a bipartisan concern. We got to have the best, latest technology for the transportation of our commander-in-chief, but these people have got to come in on budget, and Congress plays a role here. I know the Armed Services Committee in the House, Mac Thornberry, is going to be looking at that as well, but these are huge contracts, and they're way over budget, and that's just not right.
You chair this important government oversight committee. Trump's spokesman, Jason Miller, told the Washington Post today that Trump sold all of his stocks back in June. Are you comfortable with that?
Well, again, as a private citizen and what he's doing, I really think the clock starts for us when President Trump becomes President Trump. Until he's actually sworn in, he has time to make these transitions. Then I think once he's a federal employee, albeit the President of the United States, then obviously the Oversight Committee is going to be watching him with keen eyes, because the role is, as the Oversight Chairman, is not to be the cheerleader for the President. It's to be there as a check and a balance on the President. But what they're doing as a private citizen, as a candidate, as long as the financial disclosures were there, which by all accounts are there at the FEC website, then, you know, he gets to conduct his own business.
Do you believe the President-elect should release documents to prove that he no longer owns stock in these companies? Should he release it, even at this late stage, his income tax returns?
Well, I said previously, I thought that the best course of action, albeit not required by the law, would be open up his kimono and actually show his tax returns. I think that every candidate should do that, but that's not necessarily the law. And so his only obligation is to that of the law, and moving forward, come January 20th, he plays by a different set of rules.
Because, as you know, there's been a lot of discussion of potential conflicts once he becomes president. It's extraordinary because he does have such a huge business empire right now. As far as the stocks are concerned, it's been estimated maybe he sold as much as $40 million in stocks. That's, from his perspective, if he's worth $10 billion, as he says he is, that's not a whole lot of money. But you want to see details, I assume, as chairman of this oversight committee.
Well, I think it'd be different. Take the Boeing situation. If he was shorting that stock and trying to profit off of that, but there's no evidence of that in any way, shape, or form. He had in his portfolio some of this stock. He criticized, Boeing and the cost overruns of this of this new airplane. But, it's a whole new world for Mr. Trump. Every word, the world markets and others, including the Oversight Committee, will be watching what he says. But I think he still needs time during this transition to get settled in. He's got a new general counsel. He'll have an army of additional attorneys there. We look forward to making sure they're held accountable.
So bottom line, what type of oversight are you, the Republican majority in your committee? I'm sure the Democratic minority will want to work with you. What type of oversight are you planning for Donald Trump's many businesses here in the United States and around the world?
Well, again, he's got to comply with the law. The law is actually different for a president than it is for other federal employees and members of Congress. They have more leniency. You can't ask, I don't know exactly why that is, but that's the case. And so we'll have to compare the actions with the law and see where he's at. But, there's always somebody doing something stupid somewhere. So give it a little bit of time, and there'll be plenty of things to go after, I'm sure.
I'm sure there will be. All right, Mr. Chairman, stand by. We'll take a quick break. Lots to discuss. We'll resume our